Oh my god. Oh my
Hello,
god.
hello.
Hi. Oh my god.
How
Are
are
you
you?
kidding? Oh, oh shit. Hi. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I love your new album.
Thank you. Are you having a
Oh
good day?
god, my heart's I'm not. Are you serious?
Dead serious.
Oh
Dead
shit. I love
serious.
your new album.
Thank you
Oh
so
my god.
much. Where are you from?
I'm from Saudi Arabia. I'm
Wow.
shaking.
What time is it there?
8.
8 o'clock. Eight
Yes,
o'clock
I'm
in the
so nervous.
evening. 8 o'clock in the morning. Don't be nervous.
No, at night. I didn't think you're gonna guess me.
Well,
I'm about to cry. I'm so sorry.
don't cry.
I love Hold On. It's my favorite song.
Thank you. That
Oh my
means a
god, I
lot.
love you.
I love you too.
I'm
I hope you.
shaking. I don't know why.
Eh,
My heart. Oh my god, I
well,
love you. I love you so much since I was little. Oh my god.
thank you. Well, um, this was fun, and I hope you
Yeah,
have a great
thank
rest of
you.
your day.
Oh my god, thank you.
All right, peace.
Bye.
Going on?
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Yeah, hello. I'm from Nigeria.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing fine, man. I'm doing great. Man, I love you,
That's
man. I
good.
love
How's
you.
Thank you, man. How's your day going?
It's going cool.
That's good. Um,
Yeah, bro.
so so I was coming on here to talk about anxiety and kind of wanted to just talk to different people and their experience with anxiety. Do you ever experience anxiety?
I don't think so, but it's exactly the same thing as depression.
Yeah, it's similar to depression. Um, being anxious. Do you ever feel that?
No, no.
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 No,
I don't think.
man, you're lucky. Do you know anybody in your family who's experienced it?
Yeah. I got one. My cousin.
Wow. Well, I'm gonna continue to talk to people about anxiety and what that looks like for them, and try to find different tools to help people. But it was so nice to meet you, man, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.
Okay.
All right, man.
Okay. Bye, bro.
Bye, bro. What's going on, Ryan?
Yo,
Can man, it's really hard I was like trying to figure out a way that I could like interact with people and have a conversation about anxiety, and it's way harder than I thought it was
yeah,
gonna be. Way harder. Do you want to help me
but
out here?
it's pretty cool. Just the kind of I don't know, where was that last dude from?
Nigeria.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Very cool.
Um, Yeah. So what are your basic thoughts? Do you have any overarching themes that you want to express as
Well,
far as?
all I know is that, you know, social media can be a place to where you know, there's so much comparison and so much, you know, you see what other people are doing, and you wish that maybe you were doing more and all this sort of stuff. So I was just kind of just gonna ask different people what their experience with anxiety has been, and like maybe how taking breaks from social media can be important. I know
Man,
that
it's
you do
so
that. I know that
important.
I do that. So like, what has that done for you?
Well, first of all, I think our brain, just from a brain standpoint, in terms of interacting on social media, you know what it does to our brain when we're even just scrolling Instagram. Each image is affecting our brain in a different way. So say you look at 10 images in 10 seconds, your brain's going like this. And so it's going to take a while to recover. So if
Mm,
you're doing that, some people are doing that 8 hours a day
mm,
constantly. I think everyone kind of sees they get addicted to their phone. I mean,
mm-hmm.
it's pretty common knowledge now. People just reach for their phone in empty space. We used to be able to enjoy empty space, and that's what
Right.
I realized that I don't. I started
But
to
as
get
soon
to
as there's a quiet moment, you're
pick your
reaching for your
phone.
phone to just, and you don't even know why you're going on it. You're just like, okay,
No, and
I'm
then
just
so you're
searching.
subconsciously taking in all of these responses.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact that you're looking at, we all know, I mean, we've talked about this. This is all common knowledge about what we're looking at. People only paint the portraits of themselves that they want people to see. So it's not even, you're not even taking in reality at that point. You're taking in a bunch of shows. We all
Wow.
have that. We are all putting on our own little show.
Right.
And so I don't know. I found I've been taking various social media breaks over the past few months, and I find my brain like being really affected by the quiet moments. Like it's recovering, like it's
Mm-hmm.
not used to the quietness, so it's almost creating, like, I don't know, I've had some really weird of my brain just spinning out, and I'm like, what's going on? I think it's just actually trying to process and catch up to, I don't know, people that are much smarter than me that study the brain would know exactly what's going on. But I think after a few days of a social media detox, I start to feel like really refreshed. And I just think we're just so plugged in, man. It's a little unnecessary to be so plugged in, and even the interactions with people that we don't even know. I find myself interacting with people that I'll probably never even meet, and I don't necessarily know if that's the
It
greatest
can
thing.
affect the people who are directly in front of us, right? Don't you agree? Like, we're not
Yeah,
enjoying the people who are necessarily in front of us because, you know,
yeah. Why not be present, right? Like, why, if I'm hanging out with you, why am I picking up my phone and seeing what other people are doing?
right, right. But
I
then
think,
there's a part of that that is actually, you know, helpful too, because you're getting inspiration, you know, like I look on Instagram and you know, if I find that I get inspired a lot of times too. So there's both sides of like, if I'm seeing someone else do really cool stuff, I'm like, man, that's inspiring. I want to go do some cool stuff.
yeah, I think it's just finding the correct balance, but you happen to be, I think you're very aware, right? So a lot of people aren't necessarily aware of that, the balance, trying to
Yeah.
find a balance. So I think that's the biggest thing, is knowing, being intentional is what I was trying to say. Being intentional about what you are using it for. Essentially, you're on Instagram right now, and because you have a very intentional reason. You want to talk about anxiety, you want to talk about helping people, etc. Um, that's a very intentional aspect. It's not just like a brainless way to be on it. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right.
And just like finding inspiration, etc. But being aware, like, okay, well, this could go downhill very quickly. So, but being aware of the pitfalls, I guess, of it.
Right, right, right. Wow, wow.
Have you been? I mean, have you been, struggling with any kind of anxiety lately?
Um, no, but I was just watching something and it was talking about how, you know, we post stuff sometimes. I was starting to think whether I'm like, man, is my posting all of this like stuff that like all of our accomplishments, like, is that more discouraging for people or encouraging? Because you got people who are like, man, look at what Justin's doing and like what am I doing?
Absolutely. Because have you felt that way?
So like my intention is to like, yo, look what's possible. Like I'm from a small town in Canada and I'm living my dreams, and it's, you know, this is pretty awesome, and I don't want that to turn into like somebody, you know, living in their small town like, yo, I man, I you know, and just feel discouraged because they're like, man, look at Justin's doing it, I'm not doing it, I wish I was doing it, I can't do it, rather than feeling encouraged by that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. You're just empathetic. So, you know, I think everybody's going to receive everything a little different, and it's tough to kind of, I totally get what you're saying. You want to be an encouragement rather than a discouragement. We've all been there before.
Right. So I think maybe, I don't know, like I've been trying to not necessarily make sure everything's super dialed in, like as far as like perfection. Like I think one thing about like the Seasons documentary is it showed me kind of in a really messy season. And I think like what can be tricky about Instagram is that, or social media in general, is that it shows people's best and like hides all of the other stuff. So it's like you're kind of confused because all of you see is, you know, all of this really dialed in stuff, and you're just like, man, you know.
Absolutely. So you felt that before from looking at other people's
definitely
posts. You've actually felt that, so you know that perhaps that's having the same effect on other people.
Exactly.
Do you
but
feel
then
that?
I know there are some people who are like, man, you make it feel like I can do anything too. So there's both sides of the coin.
It's a lot, bro.
Yeah.
So you that's just the reality of just how I think an empathetical, somebody who's aware of others is thinking.
Yeah, thank you,
it's just
bro.
You're just thinking about everybody and just trying to help people.
Thanks, man.
I think that's admirable.
Thank you, bro.
Yeah, somebody just said comparison is the thief of joy. That is so true.
Wow.
But
we all experience that. You know, I experienced that, just comparing myself to others. And I obviously that can make us feel just kind of not good enough, or, you know, and that can steal our time and steal our, you know, purpose-filled life, right? Like, because we're worried about what someone else is doing rather than what God's put in our heart, maybe.
And just being present, right? Like just thinking, just being present and enjoying what we have right now. And that's the only thing we have right now is actually right now.
Yep.
Which is wild. So like even the conversation we just had doesn't exist anymore. The time doesn't even, right now.
Right. It just keeps going.
Going. So being aware of all that. It's tough, man. I think it's just tough right now. It's tough for a lot of people. It's tough. You know, I never thought that I would be having conversations about my own anxiety. You know what I mean? Or just what it's just wild.
I think too, like for someone in, I'd say my position, to the outside world who looks like they're in this place of like ultimate success, right? Like, and I think reminding people that stuff doesn't just alleviate anxiety. Like anxiety, you know, sometimes, you know, things can get worse to a certain extent, you know, like, I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but
no, totally. I mean, there's just a lot. You got a lot coming at you. You got a lot that you want to do. You got a lot that you want to pour into others, etc. It's just a bigger world, a larger area of influence, territory of influence.
I guess what I want people to understand or know that, like, you know, God is here right now, and like the ultimate goal is just being with him, you know, and we're always going to be in pain. We're always going to be struggling, and there's always pain in this world, but God is with us through it. And that doesn't, that's all I can say, I guess.
I'd love that thought. Just the idea that we didn't ask to be here. We didn't ask to be born.
No.
So if this life truly is a gift because it was just given to us and we didn't plan it, we didn't ask for it. And so then what is a gift essentially, right? Like God wanted us to enjoy it. I think God really wants us to enjoy this life and enjoy his presence. He's put so much in front of us to be able to enjoy. And let's not miss that, let's not miss the simple things that when we look around that I'm just drinking coffee right now. Just the simple taste of coffee that I enjoy.
Wow.
So, you know what I mean? Just little things throughout the day. And I think that takes a little pressure off the moment by moment when you start to look around and be like, wow, there are things that I really enjoy being here for. And
you're not so consumed by the next thing and the next thing and the next thing, but you can actually enjoy the present, even in the struggle, even in the pain kind of thing.
Yeah, because what's the next thing? The next thing's always the next thing.
Yeah.
We hit benchmarks and we're always looking. Right, you have I believe you have a #1 record right now. And then is there a natural, do you have an inclination to be like, okay, well, what are we going to do next?
Right.
Like, do you feel that way?
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
And so other people wouldn't even see that. Other people be like, oh man, Justin's got huge album out right now. #1 song. He's got everything. But the natural inclination is always to just be like, well, what are we going to do next? Rather than just be like, man, we got this day. We have this moment. We have so much. This life, it really is such a gift. It's crazy. We did not ask to be here.
Crazy.
But we get to be here.
It's crazy. Wow. Ultimately, life's a gift.
I always think of it this way, when you start to think about a gift, right? Like, if I gave you a gift, say I gave you something, a real gift, of course, it's yours. I don't expect anything from it. I just want you to have it, you and enjoy it. Of course, it makes me happy when you're responsible with it and you treat it correctly and you take care of it and you love it and you cherish it and you honor it. But ultimately, the gift is yours. If you smash it and break it, it's cool, right? Like that was my gift to you. You did with it what you felt. I think God's the same thing. When he created us, it's like a true gift, real gift. I don't necessarily expect anything, but I do know that I want you to value it, cherish it, enjoy it, love it, honor it. And then that's going to give us both just a real solid, experience.
Yeah. I think ultimately, like, when society and the world thinks about God in general, they think about rules and having to follow rules.
Bro, you know what? Judah and I were having this conversation the other day, and we talk about kind of our first experience. First, if you're reading the Bible, right, Genesis, and talking about Adam and Eve in the garden, and them eating the apple and God being very mad and kicking them out of the garden, right? That's the perspective of it all, like of people's first idea or experience of like God being mad. But like, man, we were talking about this. It's actually not the case. That actually wasn't the case. He was actually setting the stage for humanity to be like rectified, but he was actually guiding them out of the garden essentially so they wouldn't eat from the tree of life, right? So that he didn't want them to live forever in that decaying state. Rather, he wanted to so it's crazy. Even our perception of God, our perspective of God is that we can make him so mad and he's going to get angry. Going back to the garden, that actually wasn't of course he wasn't, he was disappointed, but he was still loving and guiding them. You get what I'm saying? Rather than like this angry, get out of my garden that I made so perfect for you, blah, blah, blah. You guys are done. You know what I mean? Our perspective should be just like no. I want you to do this because it's going to work out better for you because I really love you.
Wow.
What are you feeling right now? What are you thinking about?
Just feeling about how just natural it is for the human condition to just go, 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 and like do more, do more, do more.
Yeah.
When that's ultimately like, we're not human doings, we're human beings, right? Like, so
Man.
to just not forget to just be makes me emotional, to be honest, but it's good.
Man, we all get so caught up in the what are we
Right?
gonna
Because
do
it's like, I
next?
just released an album. I
I
just
know.
released 2 albums.
Bro, if you
And
don't
I'm
do
like,
anything
what's next?
if you don't do nothing for 5 years, right? Like,
Yeah.
so you could, I don't know, man. That it's always what's next. But the truth is, God has really kind of put in you this, you want to inspire people, love people.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. I think you're doing it. I think you're really doing it, man. I really respect you, being responsible with your gifts at this moment.
Thank you. I love these conversations.
I do too. Could go on and on. You know, it feels like there's so much to express. There's so much
to just try to break down of like, why are we here? What is the whole reason for us to be on this planet? You know, like, so many people are wondering why.
What do you think? Like, what is
why
your...
are we here in 2021?
Yeah.
Why did God put me here in 2021? Why did, you know, what is the purpose of this life? Like, and like, what is the purpose?
What do you think it is? Like, I mean, this is
ultimately it's just like, it's spending time with God, bro. It's literally just spending time looking for him in all things, in all people. Just, God, where do you want me to go? You know, and we just get confused by success. Like, success tricks people. What is success? What is success? Like, is it money? Is it fame? Is it, you know, what is it? And for me, someone who's had it all, like all areas of success, whatever that looks like, you know, money, fame, cars, like all that sort of stuff, and like, it wasn't fulfilling, you know what I mean? And like, so it's just like, well, what is it? It's just stop and recognizing that God is here. God is right here. And like, when you're so driven for the next thing, you don't see, you're not stopping to acknowledge how the coffee tastes.
Right.
You're not stopping to acknowledge how beautiful the drive is that you take every day to work. You're not stopping to experience, you know, the friends that you have around you that are already in your corner because you want, you know, other people to like you, and you want, but you're like, you can't see the friends that are in your corner. You can't see, you know, you know, you're blinded to what God has already blessed you with, because you're so consumed with more and more and more, and what's next, that you can't just be like, wow, I have everything I need right now. I have breath in my lungs. I have blood coursing through my veins. Like, wow.
I think it's like this. We have that subconscious drive to survive physically, to just stay alive. We don't even realize that that's kind of where our insecurities come from. But we're here. We're alive.
Exactly. What you're saying right there is great. Like, we subconsciously all are fearing death because it's a real thing.
Yeah.
And like, just like you said, subconsciously, like, when this conversation isn't happening, because like, people don't want to talk about death. They don't want to talk about, because
hard to process.
It's a reminder. Yeah, it's hard to process. We weren't made to die.
Yeah, exactly. That's it right there. It's the insecurity, our subconscious insecurity. Actually, insecurity is just us subconsciously fighting the idea that we're actually expiring when we weren't created to. So,
wow.
It's just, now we're just in this freaking wheel.
Cycle.
Yeah, of just like not even processing that we are insecure because we're just trying to stay alive and fight for what we need to survive. But God said, when he's talking about the flowers and the animals, he's like, look at them, like they don't even, they just go on. They know I'm going to take care of them.
Yeah.
So how much more that, like, he loves us.
Yes.
So
yes.
he is working he will meet our needs. He will. Yeah.
But I think that's just because of death and the fear of death. We all feel the need to, right now, I got to store everything. I got to hoard all my, I got to like do this.
Yeah, we have closed hand rather than open hand.
Doing this rather than doing this because we don't know what's to come. And in the pandemic is another scenario of that because it's so uncertain. So everyone's just like, you know what I mean? Like they're just fearful and they're just holding on to what they have. And they're just, rather than just letting stuff go, of like releasing all of that, just releasing everything. Like I release control to you, God. I release, all of the things that I can't control. I give it to you, and then watch how God moves and just uses us when we least expect it. Like we want God to use us, but we don't want to let things go in our life. We want God to use us, but we won't fully trust him. And it's like, how do we, and
it's crazy because control is such an illusion because we are in control of nothing.
Yeah.
We couldn't even plan to be here ourselves. So why we think we're in control? We're trying to, like, we have control over nothing. Anything could do things. We're not even responsible for our lives.
So if we can trust when we go in an airplane, we blindly trust that the pilot is going to get us to the destination.
Yeah.
We don't know his credentials. We don't go up to the guy and ask him, hey, show me your pilot's license to make sure that we just blindly get on the plane and trust the pilot to take us. But we don't want to trust the creator of the mountains and the stars and the sky and the, molecular complexities that create a human being. We don't want to trust the creator to just, we don't want to give him all of that control because I don't know why. Because of fear, because of selfishness, because of like what?
I don't know, man. Control is such an illusion though, right?
Such an illusion.
We're in control of nothing.
We don't want to let things go because sometimes we feel like it's all we have.
Because all we can see, right? Yeah.
It's all we can see in front of us, that thing that like. And I just think, like, if we can all just live with a generous heart and just trust God that he's in control and he's going to make a way where there's no way.
Yeah.
He's going to provide for us in ways that we could never imagine, and just relinquishing that control to just say, God, I've tried to live my life. I've tried to give, I've tried to do it on my own and I just can't.
I woke up to an earthquake the other morning. If that shows you how little of control over my life I have, you know what I mean? The ground is shaking. My house is shaking.
Right.
I have no say over anything in that moment.
Wow.
We are just, so why not just be like, hey man, I have no control over this life, God. I know that you do, so I'm just gonna allow you to just steer the ship. Like, you can have it all. I don't know what's going on. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't even know how I got here, but I'm going to give it to you and I'm going to trust whatever that even looks like. It's such a freeing feeling. I mean, you sing that song Freedom that you just put out. Freedom, that's what it is. Freedom. Okay. Mm-hmm. Freedom to just hand over the illusion of control over my own life. Mm-hmm. I'm free now because I don't have to pretend like I'm in control. Mm-hmm. I'm just going to give it all. Like, freeing. Like, I'm going to allow you to just steer the ship. And by the way, I trust the person that's going to steer it. I'm giving it to God. I'm a God who loves me, a God who created me, a God who knows exactly what I need, who's in control of everything. That's freedom. We're not just handing the ship over to somebody that's
someone who we can't trust.
No, yeah, we're handing it over to a God who's in control and who loves us and wants the best for us and just knows exactly what we need moment by moment, rather than like the plans that we make, that we think that we know what's best for our life. Like, I'd much rather have God steer the ship of my life than me, because I don't even know, like, I don't even know my blood type.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And, yeah, man, this is good stuff. These are good conversations. I believe that they're stirring up in people's hearts as they're watching this. And just, you know, if you are watching this and you are considering, like, what does it look like to follow God, and what does it look like to just let go and just trust him with my life? It's not rocket science. It's not something that you need to spend all this time getting better and making your life good. Like, you're already loved by God. You're already accepted by God. There's nothing you could do to make him love you any less. He's absolutely obsessed with you. And, he just wants a relationship with us all. He wants to talk with us. He wants to walk with us. He wants to, he wants to just continue to encourage us. And if we just continue to look for him in all things, all over, just keep looking for God, he's not going to disappoint us.
Yeah, so he's not. Yeah, he can. I don't know. I would encourage everybody just to kind of, like, I don't know, just be open and honest. You know, open and honest with God.
For sure. God's with us. He loves us. We're going to have a great day. And I am going to go and rehearse.
Love you so much, bro. Thanks for the conversation. Thank you for this
conversation. It's so life-giving for me.
Same.
So life-giving.
And you know what? We have the funny thing is we have these conversations rather consistently just on FaceTime. But here, I don't know, it's really cool to kind of, like, I don't know, have a open forum for other people to kind of chime in and see what we're talking about, because we're just trying to work this out ourselves too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
We're just trying to figure it out. But one thing we do know is we trust God.
Yeah.
And we're just going to keep trusting him, because it's
only, to be honest, the only thing we got.
Choice. Like, what else do we got here? Do we trust God or what?
Right.
Man. But I love you so much, man.
Love you too. Have the best time at rehearsal.
Yes, sir.
I'll see you.
All right. Peace.